What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to be speaking about new criticism surrounding David Benavidez and his latest victory against Gilberto Ramirez being labeled as a dirty fighter. We definitely going to be speaking about that. We're going to be reacting to Ring Magazine's new pound for pound list. We're going to create our own, or at least update our own. Then we're going to get into some open boxing topics. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'll be very much appreciated. We're on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,500 mark, looking to crack that 3,600 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I hope everybody's doing well, man. I hope you had a great start to your week. You know what I mean? I wasn't on live yesterday. I just had to catch up on some rest, man. My son wore me out this weekend, man. So I definitely needed to keep up on it. And I am starting to realize that, work burnout is really a thing. So, I will be going live on a regular basis, but that going live every day type stuff, that's going to have to, fall back just a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? So just to prioritize rest and I can have more motivation doing, the other things that I'm tapped into in life. You feel what I mean? That's just what we're going to be doing moving forward. But we will be going live regularly. That'll never stop. We're going to keep this joint going. You know what I mean? Because we got work to do, and the work is never done. You feel what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's in the comments. Shout out to the boy, The Stranger, with the first comment of the day. He says, Turkey at it again. Most casual boxer fan on earth. Now he's talking about Benavidez versus Usyk in 2027. We got to talk about it. Yeah, we definitely are going to talk about it. And what was crazy was I was going to make a video today, or at least I had made a couple videos today. I didn't post them because I didn't like how the way they sounded. I think my iPhone is having a little bit of audio issues. I had the phone for like 3-4 years already, so I think it's a matter of time. No, 2 years is some change for sure. So, but I think it's time that I get a new iPhone. But I made a video earlier today just speaking about Turki Alalshikh and, how I feel like he has his favorites, of course, and I don't think he's really that guy who he portrayed to be in the beginning in terms of being this big boxing fan and, wanting to make the biggest and best fights happen in the sport of boxing. And he has done it, and I have praised him for it. I've given him some credit for making fights that I think would have never happened without him. I think Usyk and Fury would have never happened without Turkey. Better beef wouldn't have happened. I don't think Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would have happened without Turki Alalshikh. So much applause to him from that aspect. But in terms of, big fights that could be possibly made today that he's purposely not deciding to take part in, I think that, if a fighter isn't reliant on him or, they'll choose things outside of Riyadh season, I do think that he holds a bit of animosity. I do think that, he grows to dislike fighters that feel like they don't need him or at least could sell on their own. I've said that Turki Alalshikh definitely has some sort of resentment or at least animosity towards Jaron Ennis. I've stated that in the past. I also feel like he felt the same way about David Benavidez, man. I know that he's given David Benavidez a fight in the past, just recently with Anthony Yard and stuff like that. But in terms of getting David Benavidez the big fights, he hasn't been able to come through. And David Benavidez's name is attached to some of the biggest fights to be made in boxing. To be honest with you, I think Benavidez and Canelo, if they were ever able to make that fight, would be the biggest fight in boxing today with all of the other big fights that's, spoken about as well. But, I do feel like, I feel like he personally doesn't like Tim Tszyu. When Tim Tszyu decided to go, another way outside of Riyadh season, when he came up short, Turki Alalshikh kicked that man while he was down for no apparent reason whatsoever. When Jaron Ennis was trying to fight in the U.S., when he chose to do that over fighting in Riyadh, he went on the Boxing Voice and was shitting on Jaron Ennis saying, "Oh, I'm not a charity. You come to me when you make the biggest fights. When you want to make the big fights, then you come talk to me." But you gave guys like Anthony Joshua, tune-ups every opportunity you get. Like he's about to fight Christian Pringus or something like that. Nobody knows who he is. You're making that fight with Anthony Joshua. You also gave Anthony Joshua the Otto Wallen fight for no apparent reason whatsoever. Nobody ever asked for those fights. So obviously, in my eyes, you're somebody who, picks and chooses who you want to be a charity for. Let's just keep it 1,000. I feel like, Turki Alalshikh, has been blocking that fight between David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol ever since Benavidez came into the light heavyweight division. I know this for a fact. When the WBC finally mandated David Benavidez, should have did it at 68 with Canelo, but they wouldn't dare test Canelo. You know what I mean? They want Canelo to have that WBC title real bad. You know what I'm saying? But at 175, they finally mandated him to fight Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol had two options. He had two options, right? Let's go back now. He had options. He could have followed through with that trilogy with Artur Beterbiev, or he could have defended his WBC title against David Benavidez, who steps in and puts their 2 cents in and ultimately destroys the possibility of that fight happening at that time. Turki Alalshikh. Turki Alalshikh puts out a post, and he's pretty much giving Dimitri Bivol an ultimatum. I know y'all remember that. And he said, hey, look, Bivol, we've been nice to you. We've given you money that you've never seen before, and we would like for you to do this trilogy with Artur Beterbiev. You know what I mean? And we can maintain this great relationship that we have going on. But understand that if you take this fight, pretty much if you fight your mandatory and David Benavidez and you go take the WBC route, I mean, like, you can't come back around here. You can't come back around over here. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. He didn't say it like that. But, he was like, yo, like, choose wisely. Because if you choose the WBC route, I'm not going to be helping you out no more. But if you do this trilogy, I'll make sure you're taken care of and we continue to do great business. So Bivol made a business decision. He made a business decision. So from there, Bivol gave up his title. He went to go follow through with the trilogy with Artur Beterbiev, but that backfired on Turki Alalshikh, because then Bivol and Beterbiev pretty much cut Turki Alalshikh out of the equation and was like, yo, we're going to fight each other in Russia. Turki was like, okay, cool. Then he later on went on to say that he didn't want to do the trilogy anyway. But you wanted the trilogy when Benavidez was on the cusp of getting the fight with Dimitri Bivol. But now that David Benavidez is no longer in that picture and getting that Bivol fight, all of a sudden you ain't care about the trilogy no more. Just for them to not even fight anyway. And neither one of them have fought since. Bill was supposed to fight May 30th or whatever the case is. So, it is what it is. Turki claims that he tried to make the Benavidez and Canelo fight. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. What else? He says that now he wants to make Benavidez versus Usyk. Benavidez that weighed 196 pounds. Benavidez weighed 196 pounds the day of the weigh-in, massively underweight for the Gilberto Ramirez fight, where Gilberto was 200 pounds on the fucking nose. Then when he weighs in the next day, David Benavidez says that he was 202 pounds. What does that let me know? That lets me know that the man, and I probably got the number wrong or so, about 1 or 2. I forgot exactly what he said. I think he said 203, 202 pounds. Bro, if the motherfucker is barely 200 pounds the day of the fight, he's not a fucking heavyweight, bro. I'm pretty sure that if David really, and David said he was on weight for 3 weeks. He said, bro, I've been on weight for 3 weeks already. That lets you know that Benavidez is not a fucking heavyweight. He's not even a cruiserweight. Let's just keep it real. He's not a cruiserweight. If you're making weight, I'm going to tell you something, right? Because these guys, some of these guys don't make weight until the day of the weigh-in, right? A lot of these guys aren't on weight until the day of the weigh-in. If you are on weight 3 weeks before a fight, that it means one or two things. You are extremely disciplined and manage your weight very fucking well, or you're fighting at a weight class that you don't belong in. David Benavidez did not belong at cruiserweight, man. That's all that told me. I seen David Benavidez pacing himself. When the fuck you ever seen David? They said, 205. Okay, so he put on what? I didn't even hear David Benavidez say that. I heard him say 202 pounds when he did the interview in the ring. But regardless, 205. In the UFC, that's a light heavyweight. But regardless, David Benavidez is not a heavyweight, yo. He's not even a fucking cruiserweight. Because them cruiserweights rehydrate up the heavyweight well into the heavyweights, 220, 225. Trust me, I know. I've been around world championship level cruiserweights that really put on that weight after wins. Benavidez is not that. He said, J-Day said, the way he crushed Zordo, I beg to differ. I think it was more of a stylistic thing. It was more of a stylistic thing. That boy David Benavidez got great work rate. He's very sharp. He's very fast. And he has some pop on his punches. And Zordo was there for all of that. And I think he had a horrible game plan. But I think that even if Zordo made it a physical fight, made Benavidez uncomfortable, got physical with him, he still would have got lit up. It was just a bad style matchup. Benavidez could have weighed 175 that night. I think he did the same shit to Zordo. It's sometimes the styles, when somebody tailor-made for you, is nothing that person could do. You feel what I'm saying? David can campaign at cruiser easy. I mean, that's your opinion, brother. I personally feel like he can too, but it ain't necessarily because he's all big and he's just, a big cruiserweight. No, it's because of the competition that's currently in that, in that weight class. Cruiserweight has never been like a popular division. It hasn't had the most action-packed, top-tier guys. You know what I'm saying? Historically, Vander Holyfield, Alexander Usyk, Gaziev. You know what I mean? Shout out to my OG Steve Cunningham Sr., who be at Pivot Boxing Academy every day, 2-time IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Nate Miller, who was a cruiserweight champion from Philadelphia as well. Like I'm familiar with that division, but it's never been like the most competitive, action-packed, deep division. Listen, man, David Benavidez. Let me see. Denzel Bentley. What? I thought Denzel Bentley was a middleweight. What are we talking about? Listen, man, y'all, you throwing me off of my focus right now. But I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say about David. But regardless, man, Turki Alalshikh just showing his casual boxing brain right now. I mean, this is somebody who, from what I heard, was trying to make Terrence Crawford versus David Benavidez at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about Moses Atama versus Usyk. Now he's talking about Benavidez versus Usyk. And, this dude, he's just – this is like this motherfucker just randomized shit. You remember on 2K when you could just randomize your 2K player and it would just generate just any fucking body? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's absolutely insane. But I'm glad that Crown 64 right here just put together this comment because I wanted to go over this because I just feel like it's fucking ridiculous at this point. He says, Benny is so fast with his hands, he can't control that elbow. So let's talk about that, right? Because I knew as soon as that elbow landed in that slow-mo that people were going to talk about this, right? I knew people was going to talk about this because it was such a grade A performance, in my opinion, that they didn't have really nothing to say about anything performance-wise. But I knew as soon as the elbow came, they was going to label Benavidez as a dirty fighter. I was just talking to my homie about this, and then he sent me the video and I was like, yo, bro, look, they're actually doing it. It's because these media outlets are so predictable. They're never satisfied. You know what I'm saying? They'll always find a way to critique something. Shit could be A1. It could be a perfect performance. People going to talk shit. You know what I mean? Like when Terrence Crawford beat the dog shit out of Errol Spence, you know what I mean? They went out of their way to try to discredit Terrence Crawford, saying that Earl was high. Who fucking knows? But they said Errol Spence was high. You know what I mean? The car crash caught up to him as if he didn't fucking beat Danny Garcia and your Dennis Ugas directly after the car accident. People just do these things. You feel what I'm saying? And when I'm watching the video, right, and this is how I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't box or y'all really don't understand the technique that comes along with punches and shit like that, right? So we're going to keep this simple and sweet, right? Let's think about this shit logically as men. I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't think like men nowadays, and I'm not talking about the nation. We good. You know, we good for life. But think about this shit logically, right? Because people are acting like the elbow was the reason why he won the fight. As far as I'm concerned, when the elbow landed, because it definitely landed, and it landed on the left side of Zordo's face. The orbital bone was broken on the right side of Zordo's face. So this whole narrative that the elbow is what caused the broken orbital and all of that, a simple replay would tell you that that's absolutely wrong. Now, these guys are fighting at close range, and they're not too far off. They're both punching each other at eye level, right? So when you're looking at David Benavidez, well, Zordo's slightly taller than David Benavidez, right? So let's say he has to punch up slightly, and they're fighting at close range. So David Benavidez throws the left hook. Now, when you're throwing the left hook at eye level, the hook is about right here, right? The hook is right here. And we got to take into consideration that David Benavidez turned the left hook over. So he turned the hook all the way over. So he's doing the proper mechanics for a left hook in terms of punching through the opponent. So now he's going boom. So he's brought the hook all the way over here. Now, what comes after the left hook? The right hand. Now, how the fuck is he gonna throw the right hand without rotating this fucking elbow at close range? How is he gonna do that? Is he just gonna drop the shit and then throw the right hand? No, that's poor boxing mechanics. So a lot of people, and I can tell a lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't ever come up in the gym. Y'all wasn't taught proper punch technique. None of that. When you're throwing a punch, you want to make sure that you're throwing it properly, because it also plays into your defense. When you throw the jab, you want to fully extend the jab. Why? Because when you fully extend the jab, boom, right? So when you fully rotate this jab and you turn that jab over, you got the hand protecting you right here. If you're off the center line, that's even better. And then you got the shoulder protecting the right side, the left side of your face. Boom. Look, I'm off the line. Boom. Right hand protecting me. I'm right here. Compact, safe, great technique, right? Now, the opposite is also true with the right hand. Take myself off of the center line. I roll that fucking right hand over. The shoulder's right by the right side of my jawline. I got my left hand up tight in case that hook comes around. I'm protected. The shoulder protects the jawline. Cool. Now, let's look at this, right? When you're throwing the left hook, you don't want to throw the left hook from right here. Because if you throw the left hook from right here and that opponent's not there, they can shoot the right hand right over the top. Boom. Right? But if you shoot the left hook at eye level, boom. And I got this right hand right here. And I'm off the line with that hook. Boom. I'm turning the shot all the way over. So I'm off the center line. The fucking right hand's protecting my face. The cross block is here. If somebody were to shoot a straight right hand or a jab while I'm throwing this hook, this forearm is going to protect me. This is called a cross block. So when I'm seeing David Benavidez shoot this left hook, I've seen a man who threw the punch properly at close range, and it just so happened that the accident occurred when he threw the fucking left hook, and he has to punch a little higher because Zordo's slightly taller than him, right? We all talked about the size difference at the weigh-in. There is a height difference. There is a size difference between the two. He has to punch up slightly, right? So he throws the hook up here. Boom. Right? But he turns the punch all the way over. So he rotates the hips. Boom. He's right here. Now, what's going to come after that? His fucking right hand. Now, how is he going to turn that right hand? Boom. So in the process of him turning that right hand, the elbow is going in Zordo's direction where he's at. Boom. So look at this. Boom. So who's to say that it was intentional for this motherfucker, David Benavidez, to hit him with the elbow when they was fighting at close range? He turned over the left hook, and when he came back with the right hand, the elbow landed. So when he's in the process of bringing his hand back defensively, he said, I don't think you watched it carefully. Zordo landed a shot during that combination that changed his trajectory. Okay, let's take a look. I didn't watch it carefully. Cool. So let's take a look. I'm not gonna put it on the screen because some motherfuckers is gonna tell me what I saw. Where the fuck is this slow-mo at? A punch did land, a straight left hand did land from Zordo, but the elbow was gonna land regardless. The elbow was gonna land regardless. If you see, he turned the hook over and he was bringing that hand back. He had the hook turned over. He's coming back with the right hand. So this has to come. He's rotating the hips back over to his left side. So because he's turning it back over to his left side, because they're in such close range with each other, the elbow is gonna touch him. Cletus Selden was doing the same shit when they was building him up on HBO. Oh, this fucking white dude, he's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? And he was hitting people with elbows. The motherfucker who almost killed Zab Judah. He was laying the elbows. I ain't hear nobody say, oh, this dude's a fucking cheater. I seen people praising him. Oh, he has that old school bruiser style and all this bullshit. David Benavidez lands a fucking... Okay, Teach, you entitled to believe whatever you want to believe, brother. What we do believe both is that it was unintentional. But, of course, people going to play that as if it's intentional because, for one, they looking for a reason to hate on David Benavidez. Two, them motherfuckers probably don't like Benavidez because they probably Canelo, Bivol fans, whatever, Jai, Opatai fans, whatever the fuck they are. They looking for a reason to shit on David Benavidez's performance. They have nothing to say about his performance. He surpassed everybody's expectations. It was a nearly flawless performance. So he's like, damn, what the fuck can we say to hate on this nigga? What can we say to hate on this nigga? And y'all remember the Anthony Yarde situation where he was, Anthony Yarde was clearly holding the nigga arm and he's letting off with the free hand. They're like, man, you can't grab behind the head. You can't grab behind the head. Bro, Anthony Yarde is clearly holding his fucking arm while he's going off with the opposite hand. And David Benavidez kept punching until he let go of the fucking hand. Oh, man, you can't do that. So there's these people that's just been nitpicking David Benavidez's performances each and every time. But he's giving you what you want, because when you see the motherfuckers box like Shakur, oh man, they're boring, man. Man, we could just go to sleep. Now you got somebody like David Benavidez who's giving you skill set. He's showing you skill set, but he's giving you an action-packed, exciting style behind it. And now y'all criticizing him because he's dirty. Man, cut it the fuck out, bro. Cut it the fuck out. Yeah, it's always something. You can't satisfy these motherfuckers. I was telling my homie from out Florida and shit, I said, bro, they gonna say, if you walk on water, they gonna say that you can't swim. If you could swim, they gonna say that they gonna say that you can't walk on water. You can't satisfy these niggas. You can't. You could turn water into wine and then be mad that it's not Gatorade. Like, you get what the fuck I'm saying, man. You can't impress these guys whatsoever, man. Whatsoever. When they was, I remember in the leader, oh man, Zordo, man, Zordo way bigger than Benavidez, man. Benavidez bit off more than he could chew, blah, blah, blah. Beat the dog shit out of Zordo. Man, Zordo was talking about retirement, which I knew that prior to the fight, and y'all still was picking him. Come on, man. Y'all see, this is why these boxers don't be wanting to interact with y'all. This is why we don't see like fan expos all like that no more. This is why, these fighters be giving media outlets hard times with interviews, because a lot of y'all niggas is fickle. Y'all fake as shit. You feel what I'm saying? Look, man. Cut off this whole narrative that David Benavidez was intentionally elbowing Zordo and that David's a dirty fighter. You know what I'm saying? My nigga, maybe, Teach may be on to something. Maybe him getting hit is what probably made him raise his elbow up a little more and hit him with the fucking elbow. If that's the case, Zordo did some shit that fucked him over. He landed a punch on Benavidez. He raised up a little bit. The forearm hit his fucking face. I mean, the elbow hit his face. It is what it is. But if you peep, Zordo's touching this side of his face, not this side of the face where the elbow landed. So he probably didn't even fucking know that he got hit with the elbow. He probably didn't even peep it to the replay. You know what I'm saying? So you can't satisfy these dudes, man. Look, if you throw this motherfucker up here and you got to come back with the right hand, you got to rotate your hips to get back in position. So from here to here, who's to say that the elbow can't hit you when you're in close range like that? It was not intentional. You feel what I'm saying? And I hate that I got to say this because you can just look at the fucking video and understand that it wasn't intentional. It ain't like fucking David Benavidez was squared up the nigga and just dropped the elbow. No, not at all. So it is what it is, man. I had to get that shit off of my chest, to be honest with you, because it's very frustrating when you read like these tweets and these dumbass and see these dumbass videos and shit like that all on Twitter and stuff like that. Twitter's such a toxic place for boxing. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But I'm seeing some of the videos on there, and bro, they just say whatever to get some type of clicks, bro. And before I used to respond to these motherfuckers like, bro, you're a fucking idiot. But that's what they want. So I'm like, you know what, bro? I ain't encouraging the bullshit, man. Now you got these fake ass. I can appreciate artificial intelligence to an extent. You know what I'm saying? It helps me with my thumbnails and search engine optimization and all of that. It helped me create the illustrations for my children's book that I made with me and Micah. You feel what I'm saying? So I can appreciate artificial intelligence to an extent, but now we getting these these AI YouTube channels that's creating fake boxing headlines and all this bullshit, bro. It make me just not want to engage in any YouTube channels anymore. These motherfuckers be putting, clickbait titles. You know what I'm saying? And then people comment and be like, "Yo, bro, like you're lying." But did you watch the video though, nigga? You're making me not want to watch the video because your title is fraudulent. So why the fuck? Oh, but you, man, watch the whole video before you call something clickbait. Nigga, your title is clickbait. So why the fuck would I watch the video if I know you're lying? Brooklyn Goodfellas said, that's why we here for the real shit. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Jannar Hill, what up? He says, Zordo was stepping in with his head. Also, none of the fighters or ref complain about elbows or headbutts. It's fair game. Absolutely. Like, low blows happen in the sport of boxing all the time. And a lot of that should be accidental. Do we label fighters as dirty for doing things accidentally? Absolutely not. Let me see what the people talking about. My boy Jannar Hill came through with another comment. He says, salute Mazuma. Salute, brother. Fans are also complaining about Zordo being a punching bag. Zordo stepped Benavidez multiple times in the fight. Zordo was just outclassed. That's what it comes down to, brother. Zordo was tailor-made for David Benavidez. And anybody that stepped to Benavidez like that, they ain't got no defense, slow. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have a problem with him because he's very fast. He has underrated defense. And he punches in combinations and his work rate is nonstop. But one thing I've seen from Benavidez that I haven't seen in the smaller weight classes is I seen Benavidez pacing himself. I seen him showing just little signs of fatigue in the fifth round. And I was like, man, that's how you know cruiserweight might have been too much of a jump for him, because if you got to pace yourself, it's because your conditioning ain't really all the way there. Maybe Benavidez having to cut down to that weight, you know what I mean, and get into those crazy weight cuts and stuff like that. Maybe that's what makes his conditioning as good as it is. When you don't have to cut as much weight, you don't have to condition your body as much. You don't have to push your body to the limit. Maybe when Benavidez is going down to 175, he's pushing his body to the limit, and therefore that's why his conditioning is as top tier as it is. Maybe, he was on weight for 2-3 weeks. He said 2-3 weeks he was on weight. So Do you really have to push your body to the limit when you're already on weight? I'm not saying that he's not training hard, but do you have to really, really push yourself? How you do at 175 when you're already on weight and eating basically whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? It's like all cruise control from there. As soon as you make the weight, it's like, all right, I can just sharpen my tools and shit like that, but I don't really have to push my body to the limit because there's no need to. You feel what I'm saying? That was the first time I seen David like take his time, like slow down a little bit. Like David usually be all gas, no breaks. 175, 168, it was just nonstop work until he get them up out of there or he just whoop their ass for 12 rounds. That's the first time I seen him like, you know what, let me chill. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to punch myself out. That was the first time I seen Benavidez fall back on the fighter. Still got the knockout around later. But that's just something that I noticed. Josue Hernandez, what up, brother? What's going on? What's going on? Let me see. Marissa said, at the end of the day, it already happened and it wasn't intentional. Thank you. Marissa know what she's talking about. It's crazy that she's young and she has more sense than these grown-ass men that be having these YouTube channels. It's absolutely insane. My boy teaching the building. Said nobody in boxing right now is moving like Benavidez. He crossing the street, beating up people, beating people I picked to beat him, moving with purpose. This is face of boxing shit. He's that was a statement, man, and it's to the point where it's like, yo, like Benavidez is really starting to take over shit, especially on the Mexican side. You know what I mean? Because there isn't a demand for Canelo to really fight like it was before. I remember when everybody was looking forward to the May days, everybody was looking forward to the September days. This loss of Terrence Crawford didn't necessarily make Canelo irrelevant because he is still very much a star in the sport of boxing, and he is still very much one of the faces of the sport as well. But his stock did go down a bit, and I think with the excitement that David Benavidez is bringing around, it's less of a necessity or at least less of an urge to see Canelo Alvarez fight because we got the new young kid on the block who Canelo Alvarez, let's keep it real, has historically ducked, throughout his career. Now it's time for a new chapter. It's time to see some young blood, out there doing his thing and, creating his own legacy. Because one thing about, people, they love to see a fighter on the come up. It's when they get to the top is when they look for ways to hate on them. You know what I'm saying? And Benavidez is climbing right now. He's solidifying his legacy, just became a 3-division world champion, just unified a division in one fight. You know what I'm saying? So he's exciting. He's new. He's the new kid on the block. And, he may very well become one of the faces of boxing. Shit. If he go ahead and he was to fight Better Beef and Bivol and beat both of them, now you talking like superstar next, and I seen some people, and I think this is a fair comparison. He's the he's going to become the next Mexican-American star since Oscar De La Hoya. And that's a huge accomplishment, man. They've been trying to build motherfuckers up like, Ryan Garcia. And, I see what they're trying to do with Emiliano and all that. It sounds good, brother. But David Benavidez is the only one walking it like he talking it. And he's putting on sensational performance after sensational performance. And he's on a mission, man. You got to love it. You gotta love it. T said, how do you see his hand combination works with someone who keeps distance well? Remember, those combinations only works at a certain range because the arms aren't fully extended. That's a great point. I think somebody with range control, which will be somebody like Dimitri Bivol, I think David Benavidez is going to have to rely on his jab. And David Benavidez has one of the most underrated jabs in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that his come forward pressure style, it's inevitable for the fight to end up at close range. You know what I'm saying? These bigger dudes, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, heavyweights, they don't move for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Not consistently, at least. You know what I mean? And Dimitri Bivol is actually someone who likes to let his hands go too. So he's going to be giving David Benavidez opportunities to get shots off as well. You know what I mean? Like Bivol, he does the in and out movement. Yeah, he got good footwork and shit like that. But Bivol like the rumble too. So there's gonna be some moments that's gonna be advantageous for for David Benavidez that, you know, could possibly win him some rounds against Bivol and shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't think he's just like this. What fighter would be this way? He's not like a Sandor Martin where he's just constantly moving. Like, no, Bivol like to let his hands go. He like to be aggressive. He like to hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So even with Better Beef, I seen him trading with Better Beef throughout the fight. So if he's doing that with Better Beef, he'll definitely do it with a Benavidez. So there's going to be some opportunities regardless for Benavidez, you know, if he were to fight. Hopefully, if he were to fight, you know, Bivol sometime this year. But Benavidez is also rangy. So, I mean, you know, you could keep your distance well on Benavidez, but you would probably have to be taller and rangier than David Benavidez to play that long distance game. And it's like he has a sharp, consistent jab. He has one of the most accurate jabs in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And he has a fast 1-2 as well. We seen it with Zordo. He in those beginning rounds, he shot a 1-2, bro. I was like, God damn, like you can't even see that right hand coming down the pipe. Like for Benavidez to be built that way, to be as big as he is, and to have that type of hand speed, bro, that's sensational. That's God-given shit right there, bro. And it seemed like he's getting faster as he's getting closer to his prime. Like it's scary for real. I mean, like you might keep distance well against Benavidez, but Benavidez knows how to cut that ring off. He knows how to walk you to them ropes, and he knows how to use his jab to get you in certain places in the ring where he could be able to bomb off on you, man. I've seen Benavidez walk fighters to, you know, the ropes behind his jab. You feel what I mean? And that once he's able to get close, then he lets off them combinations. You feel what I'm saying? See, where is Sandor? I have no idea, man. I have no idea what's going on with him. Trick said also switching stances, which I didn't catch until after reviewing the fight. Yeah, I was saying it during my live fight commentary. I said this motherfucker switching southpaw, and he actually got that last knockdown southpaw. He was staying in southpaw when he was bombing away on Zordo, which was very brave of him to do because Zordo's a outright southpaw. So, man, listen. That boy Benavidez being the lad, perfecting his craft, man. He's showing you something new. A lot of the times when he gets into the ring, I remember when Benavidez, when he was coming up, he was primarily a high guard defensive type of fighter. Now you're seeing him, you know, catching shots. You see him using his head movement. You know what I mean? I've seen him emphasize the jab more than he was when he was younger. Like he's really developing. He's really growing as a fighter. He's really showing to be a student. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like, go watch when Benavidez fought fucking let me see. What fight can you watch? Go watch when he fought like Dennis Dugden, Mama's boy, right? Then watch him now. You tell me how many things he done added to his game since then. Like Benavidez was always a dog. He always had fast hands. He was always aggressive, come forward, pressure. But now you seeing like some new wrinkles in his game where he's slipping shots, he walking to you, he making you miss. You know what I mean? It ain't the most flashiest shit, so people don't really pick up on it, but it's extremely effective. Yeah, man. He in that gym. Bro, niggas say he trained for 5 months. He said he trained for 5 months to get ready for Zordo. You think that he training for 5 months straight and the nigga ain't learning shit? Man, listen. He had Roy Jones in there teaching him some shit. He had Andre Ward in there teaching him some shit. Like he's really grasping game from legends. From legends, they giving him game, and he not just brushing it off. He really going in there. He perfecting his craft. Andre Ward told him when he did that interview with him, he was like, bro, everything. He was emphasizing the importance of the jab. You feel what I'm saying? And what's David doing? Emphasizing the jab. He said, bro, everything. He said everything starts with this. You get this shit down right, man. Everything else is gonna flow much easier. You see Benavidez fucking whipping that jab, bro. Bah! 1-2 behind it. Bah, bah. Come on, man. This dude, This dude Benavidez is really learning. He picking up shit, and he actually got what's dangerous about him is that he's willing to learn. Motherfuckers get to a certain pinnacle in the game and act like motherfuckers can't tell them shit. That's why I fuck with Devin Haney. Devin Haney, his dad, and shout out to Bill Haney for being humble enough to have other motherfuckers teach his son, understanding that he doesn't know it all and gain from guys who done did it before, man. I'm seeing Devin Haney training with Ben Davison. I'm seeing Devin Haney train with Floyd Sr. I'm seeing him train with fucking Freddie Roach. I just seen him cooking up with James Toney the other day, Mickey Bay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's plenty of more people that I'm missing. Roy Jones. Like, I've seen him learn from everybody and add just a new wrinkle to his game. Every time he learns from somebody new or he does another training session, he learns something new and he adds it to his game. Learns something new, adds it to his game. He was cooking up with Shane Mosley in the lead up to the Jose Ramirez fight. Shane Mosley, legend. James Toney, legend. One of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Roy Jones, one of the, probably at his peak, the greatest fighter to ever lace him up. I'm seeing Davis swiping the guard down, coming over the top with the hook. Like, when Mexicans was ever doing that? No disrespect to Mexicans, but like they starting to learn, like they picking up on certain shit. These Mexican American guys, they getting some, like, you know what I mean? They stepping outside of their Mexican style and they learning from different, styles of boxing. And bro, watching these Mexican motherfuckers, it's scary, to be honest with you, because Mexicans was successful as they was just having a Mexican style. Now you're seeing these Mexican motherfuckers tap into the American style, aka the black style, and they starting to, they starting to become hybrids of like the black style along with the Mexican style. And these motherfuckers is cooking. Oscar De La Hoya said that the best trainer he ever had was Floyd Sr. Shout out Bam Pacheco. Absolutely. Yup. Yeah, the Mexican-American fighters. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. The Mexican-American fighters, yeah. I think Mexican-Americans had the most champs in boxing right now. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's a says, as of early 2026, the United States has the most men's boxing world champions, frequently followed by Mexico and Japan. Top current country, the USA leads with between 16 and 20 current world champions. Mexican fighters consistently rank among the top, often second to US in total champions. Per capita leadership, Puerto Rico is noted as having the highest density of champions with 15 to 16 champions per 1 million people. That's why they say Puerto Rico is the greatest country pound for pound in boxing. But a country to be this fucking small and to have as much talent as they've generated throughout boxing's history is amazing. Mexico bigger than a motherfucker on that mat. Like this motherfucking big. Puerto Rico like this motherfucking big. And Puerto Rico has more championship wins against Mexico than Mexico has against them. It's insane. And for the longest, I think Mexico ended up breaking the record as well. For the longest, Puerto Rico was the only country to have a world champion in every division. For 105 all the way up to heavyweight. I think Mexico broke the record with having Andy Ruiz as champion, even though he a Mexican-American. I don't know if you want to count that because let Mexicans tell it. They don't look at Mexican-Americans as real Mexicans. I don't know, but it is what it is, man. Puerto Rico, I'm proud to be Puerto Rican, that's for sure. Proud to be Puerto Rican. My boy Mardo Taraji in the building. What's going on, brother? What's going on? That's why it'd be so funny because there was a stick. I had a homie hit me up. And you know what I mean? Motherfuckers be talking. You know what I mean? That's how I know these niggas be watching because he be talking with other media outlets and support. And you know what I mean? I don't never know these motherfuckers, but these motherfuckers know me. he was saying that the stigma around me was, when he was talking to other media guys, was that I don't like Mexican fighters. Like, what? What, yo? Like, two of my favorite fighters in boxing, 2 out of the 3 of my favorite fighters in boxing right now are fucking Mexicans. What are you talking about? Is Bam not a fucking Mexican? The one that I pulled up to go see? I left work early, made up some shit. I was like, yo, man, I gotta step out real quick, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. You'll never leave early. It's okay, go ahead. Man, I drove all the way up uptown in Philly from where I was at. I was down Center City, drove all the way up to go see. When I heard Bam was down here, I was like, he doing a community event? I'm gonna go see him. I don't think you do that shit for motherfuckers you don't like. Diego Pacheco, I've been fucking with Diego Pacheco for the longest. I fuck with these Mexicans, bro. Y'all got to cut it out. Don't talk about me. Talk about your mother, man. My boy Marto Tarachi said Morrell gave David the best fight. I don't even think Bivol going to put up the fight Morrell did, to be honest. Feet, speed, and power, and a good combination of putting it all together. Yeah, Morrell and David was definitely rumbling. That was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a build-up. I mean, that's one of the fights that I hope don't get forgotten in the sport of boxing, because that was a hell of a build-up. These guys genuinely didn't like each other. They had a bit of a history because there was a stigma around that. Benavidez ain't want no smoke with Morrell. I remember that. And I was trying to tell motherfuckers, I had people hit, man, he gonna put Benavidez on a highlight reel. Oh, he gonna do this, he gonna do that. Morrell, a special fighter, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, Morrell didn't fight anybody to give y'all this reassurance that he's gonna beat Benavidez. He did nothing. He's not battle tested. He just looked good based off of the guys that y'all seen him beat, but ain't none of them guys Benavidez. I'm trying to tell you, man, Benavidez, man, he get hit, man. And granted, Morrell did rock Benavidez shit a couple times in that fight. Yo, he's a strong motherfucker, but I knew that Benavidez been places in the ring that Morrell has never been to. And I knew that was going to play the part, and it did. That was one of my favorite fights that happened at that time, bro. I need to go. I didn't get to watch the full fight. I watched like the first 4 rounds the other day. What was it, like it was sometime last week. I watched like the first 4 rounds of it, and I got caught up. I had to catch up on some things. But, man, that was a hell of a fucking fight. Dropped Benny in the 11th round. Like, Benavidez took the count, but it was like, wasn't nothing crazy. But, yeah, Morrell rocked Benavidez shit a couple times. For sure. My boy Justin Jackson said, keep your eye on a kid named Jordan Martinez out of AZ. He's a Mexican with a slick style and just had a draw with one of Robert Garcia fighters. Yeah, I heard Robert talking about that on ES News. Yeah, I had heard about that. I'll keep my eye on him, though. I love the fact that Justin Jackson really became, like, he's slowly but surely becoming this hardcore boxer fan. It's dope because when he first started coming around, I don't know what made Justin Jackson start coming around, but I think he was like making it clear, like, yo, I don't really even know boxing all like that. But he's starting to really watch it. He really be tuned in. We turning these casual motherfuckers to boxing enthusiasts around this bitch, man. Come on, man. Who doing that around here? Yo, these channels ain't even be giving a fuck about they subs. I'm the only motherfucker, bro, that be interacting with they subs every day. You DM me and I answer you. I'm not too bougie to talk to my subs, bro. These niggas don't even be want to interact. They don't even be reading these niggas super chats. Yo, this shit be hilarious, bro. In your opinion, Eduardo Alvarez says, in your opinion, does Bud beat David? No, not at all. That'll be a situation where weight classes matter. Bud is one of the greatest fighters of this generation. Now, if you're talking about putting Bud in a 175, 168 natural body, putting him up against Benavidez, that's a different discussion. But, you know, even Bud, no, like Bud, like, man, hell no, like David too big. Like he understand. And the reason why he went up to 168 is because Canelo ain't no big motherfucker. He ain't no big motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock Bud for not fighting Benavidez, bro. He only went up there to fight Canelo. People made it seem like, oh, he gonna be campaigning at 68. No, Bomac told me bro. He said it on Mazuma TV. He said that after Bud beats after he fights Canelo, he's going to retire. That shit was in the plans a long time before it happened. That's why when he retired, I'm like, oh, I mean, Bomac told y'all niggas that's his manager. Who the fuck like that shit was already mapped out. Bud wanted to retire after the Errol Spence fight. But when he seen there was a possibility for him to get the Canelo fight, he held that shit down. Bud not coming back. I promise you that he not coming back. Only way that nigga come back is like Turki said, if he go broke. That's the only way, and I don't see it happening. I heard about his real estate portfolio and shit like that. Bud don't need to come back, bro. He really don't. He good. You feel what I'm saying? He said you've been watching since. Damn, you been watching that long, Justin? You just started interacting with us. What you was hiding? You was hiding from the comment section or something? My boy Josue said, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be a boxing casual, but now I'm knowing more and more day by day. Bro, the more you tap in with these lives, the more you're gonna know, the more informed you're gonna be, the more educated your opinions are gonna be. Bro, trust me, bro. You're gonna be all right. Dua says, shout out to my boy Dua. He said, who are your top 5 fighters? Are we talking about favorites? If we talking about favorites, then of course it's Jaron and it's David Benavidez, Ben Rodriguez. After that, it get a little bit shaky. It changed all the time. I like that. I like Moses Atama, man. No. Abdullah Mason for sure. I've been rocking with him for a little while now. He been climbing up my list. Pause. Who else? Who's the last one I'm gonna get that spot to? Because Abdullah definitely, especially after that Sam Noakes fight, I'm like, this motherfucker. If he just get a little bit more composed and tighten up his defense a little bit, don't get so greedy. I mean, box a little bit more. Yo, Abdullah could be a real fucking problem. But man, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but if Keyshawn wasn't such a fucking cornball, he'd probably be up there too. I like his skills, man. But Bud is retired now, so we can't mention him in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? He retired now. Fuck it, man. I'm gonna give most of the time of that number 5 spot. Fuck it. It changed all the time though. Am I missing somebody? I don't know. I think I'm missing somebody, man. I don't know. Probably am. Richardson Hitchens? Hell no. Hell no. My boy Trick said Mazuma Benavidez was the undisputed champ at 68. Do you think Crawford would make the jump? No. He specifically went up to Canelo Alvarez because he knew, for one, there was a payday involved. Then when he started to watch Canelo, he was like, oh shit, stylistically I could beat him. Then he realized Canelo ain't that fucking big. That's all it was. It was a calculated move on Bud's part. If Canelo would have fought Benavidez and Benavidez stepped on him and became undisputed, Bud would have been like, oh, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, the only reason why he went to 68 was because of Canelo. Was it because it was a weight class he was targeting? He would have stood his ass at 50, at 54. Probably rumbled Jermel for his belts. You know what I mean? Probably would have beat up on Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? Shit like that. That's what would have ended up happening. Yeah, Bill Haney, the reason. Yeah, Bill Haney know he real strategic, man. That's one of the most calculated men in boxing. Y'all be trying to play Bill Haney like he a clown and he be doing too much. Man, that boy, Bill Haney is smarter than what y'all give him credit for. Very calculated. Know the game real well. He understands the importance of matchmaking and He knows what benefits people and what don't. He know what's good. He know what's bad for his guy. You know what I'm saying? He knew Terrence had what it took. Terrence, he noticed it when Terrence didn't. That tell you everything you need to know. Because Terrence, not too long ago, was like, oh, no, I want to fight Canelo, man. This weight class is for a reason and shit like that. As soon as Bill saw him, I was like, oh, you could beat him. That's the fight. You could beat him. That shit stuck in Bud mind. He like, why he saying that? Let me check something out real quick. Then he started seeing what Bill saw. He was like, oh, yeah, we need this fight. Yeah. That's all it take. That's all it take to spark an idea. It just take a little, just take one conversation, take one sentence to spark a whole different motivation inside you, bro. Yeah, Bill is very intelligent. And shout out to Bill Haney too, because every time he posts a video of his son, he sends it to me directly on through the DMs and shit like that. You know what I mean? That boy Sean Haney getting better, man. Bill Haney's son, Sean, he's getting a lot better, man. His feet looking quick. You know what I mean? He's turning, he's moving, he's getting, you know, his shots are looking straight and sharp. You know what I mean? I'm really whenever they come back to the East Coast, man, I'm gonna have to take that trip up New York to get to work, man. I'm gonna have to pack my guys in the whip. You know what I mean? Drive out to New York and go get some work with the Haneys, man. You know what I mean? I got a southpaw he could work with. That Dev could work with too. So Solomon Dubois versus Sean Haney. Solomon Dubois look big as shit though. Like you could tell he gonna be big, bro. You see how like you see how like skinny and wiry he is, but like he toned the fuck up. Like he gonna grow into that. He gonna grow into that. His arms look mad long. He gonna get tall as shit. He probably gonna be bigger than Daniel. Ooh wee, that's a good question right here. Hold on. Trick said, and Canelo went up to 68 when Benavidez got stripped. I think Canelo was already at 68, but he didn't explore going for all the titles until Benavidez got stripped. I think Canelo was already. Let me see when did Benavidez get stripped? That was in 2020. Let me see. Did he go right to 68 in 2020? Let me see. Yeah, he was already at 68 because he fought Rocky Feldon at 168. Then he went up to 75, went back. Yeah, so he was already making his entrance. He was already making his entrance at the super middleweight. He was trying to see, you know what I mean? Then he noticed, he's like, oh, Benavidez lost that WBC. Let me go grab that real quick. And Benavidez never got that shit back after that. Crazy. Canelo, this team's smart too, though. Like, Eddie ain't no dummy. Reynoso, he ain't dumb. He put all his trust into Eddie, and Eddie makes sure he don't fuck it up. He almost fucked it up with that Bivol shit. And they kind of slept on Bud, too. Who have you fought? You fought nobody. You fought nobody. My boy Josue said, yo, Mark, who would you take in a Munguia versus Bektemir matchup? I think I will pick Jaime Munguia, man. That'll be a great stylistic matchup, to be honest with you, because both of them are aggressive. You know, they got some good, solid power. Bektemir, brutal body shots. You know what I'm saying? Bektemir is very strong. So if he could get the Jaime Munguia, yeah, I mean, he could hurt him. You know what I mean? Like, Jaime done been sparked by lesser guys. You know what I mean? Lesser punchers, I'm going to say. So it's definitely possible, but I do think that Munguia is a lot busier than Bektemir. So I think that if they were to, get into it like in a shootout, I think Jaime will get the better of it just because he's more active. But Bektemir could hurt him. And I could see, Emmanuel Resendiz was hurting Jaime to the body, man. He was just able to, keep, he what worked in Jaime Munguia's favor in that fight was that he got Resendiz respect. He felt them punches from Jaime. Jaime was significantly bigger than him. Resendiz ain't no real super middleweight, to be honest with you. I mean, he really a middleweight type of guy. I mean, at 68, he just stood there because he got that opportunity against Plant. He upset at Plant. Then when he elevated the champion, he ain't had no choice but to stay there. But for real, Resendiz ain't no real super middleweight. Do I really think Lester beating Jaime? He can. Yes, he can. Because Lester gonna give Jaime that same shit he giving out. Lester could definitely give Jaime some work. I don't even think Jaime will look his way. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think Jaime will look Lester Martinez's way. Because Lester could bang with him, but he could also box. I don't think Jaime would even want to see Billy for real. I'm surprised Canelo about to take that fight. Canelo was talking about the fight as if it was locked in already. So that's next. I don't think Billy's gonna lose to Canelo, bro. I really don't, man. Like, unless Canelo just turn the clock back or unless Billy just lay a fucking egg or something, I really don't see stylistically at this point in Canelo Alvarez's career how he beats Billy. He doesn't throw enough. He's not active enough. You know what I'm saying? And then Billy not gonna be no hoe and let you walk into the ring, let him walk him to the ropes, and then you just gonna hit him with 2 punches. He just gonna shell up. No, man, Billy gonna be there with you. Jaime fought Canelo. I don't think he's scared. Nigga, hot man. Everybody fighting Canelo. You will fight Canelo if you see how much you was gonna get off of that. Shit. Everybody fighting Canelo. The only motherfucker I know that turned a Canelo fight down was Jamal Charlo. And that's because he turned it down everything. You know what I'm saying? He on some whole shit. Jamal Charlo moved up 2 weight classes to get that smoke. Shit, Terrence Crawford damn near moved up 3 to get some smoke. Like, whoever Canelo want to fight, they gonna take that shit. William Skull took the fight. You know what I mean? Like, and he a scary motherfucker. You see how the way he fought. Man, you turn down a Canelo fight, you're a fool. Shit, you talking about give me 40 mil? Shit. You don't even have to give me, you can give me you can give me 20% of that. Fuck you talking about? You ain't have to give me no 40 million. I'll fight for less than that. Mardo said, what happened to that Pacheco versus Shiraz fight? That was going to be a good one for 168. I don't know. From what I was hearing, Pacheco was having like issues with his training camp or some shit like that. So, you know what I mean? He had pulled out of negotiations or whatever because he just wasn't ready. That's what I heard. I don't know what the truth is. A lot of people labeling Pacheco for being a duck for that situation. But if your team ain't right, how you going to get prepared for a Rumble? If that's the reason. I don't know. That's just what I heard. But, yeah, that would have been a great fight. But it did seem like Pacheco was interested at one point, but then all of a sudden he was like, you know what, I got to fall back. Kind of reminded me of like Errol Spence and motherfucking Sebastian Fundora, where, Errol Spence was like interested. He in the ring calling him out. Then afterwards he like, yo, like, I'm not ready. It's like, the fuck happened? 400K and I'm not fighting Canelo for no 400K, bro. Yo, Shay, after 400K, you only coming home with like 250, 200. Fuck that. Woo-wee. Trick said, yo, Mark, I checked the odds with Bet Online. Canelo is minus 200 favorite and Billy is plus 153. Well, I hope it stay like that. I'm putting some money on him, Billy. Them odds, whoever be making them odds makers, whatever, them bookies, whatever you fuck you want to call them, them niggas sleeping on them Billy. That's a bad style matchup for Canelo at this point in his career. They said Pacheco was still looking for a trainer right now. He's working with Buddy McGurk, though. Okay, but maybe at that time he didn't have Buddy McGirt locked in, so he probably was in the process of searching for a trainer. How you gonna lock in a fight if you don't have a trainer though? If that's the case, I'm not gonna look at Diego Pacheco as no fucking duck. Like if your team not straight, how you gonna get straight? Your training, like your trainers, like your team is literally your foundation. You don't have that, everything gonna fall apart. You ain't gonna have no sturdiness with your career if you know what I mean, if your team ain't together. You're not gonna make it far if you ain't got a solid team. I'm gonna keep it real. A solid team is a key to your success. Shit, tell that nigga Canelo give me 5 million. I'll fight that nigga. Give me 8 million. Shit. 8 million, I probably come home with like 4.5, maybe. Yeah, I'll be all right. After taxes and all that. I be seeing why these fighters be their own promoters after a while, bro. Like them promoters be all heartbroken, but I invested. Bro, y'all niggas be killing these niggas fight purses, bro. Y'all and the managers, bro. I see why Mike Tyson was like, bro, you do not need a manager. You know what I mean? Just get a lawyer. I'm like, bro, you definitely right, bro. Like these motherfucking managers, these lawyers, these managers, these promoters, these advisors, bro, they be fucking these fighters over bad. I'm talking like I be hearing managers be getting a third of your purses. I'm like, nigga, how? I gotta give you a third of my purse, and then I gotta pay taxes on my whole person. Nah, bro. Fuck no. Hell no. Justice said, bet the under on me too. I'm taking a dive 5th round. The fact that you think you're gonna make it to the 5th round is fucking hilarious. You're not making it to the 5th round, brother. I don't think I'm making it to the 5th round with Canelo, to be real with you. Cause my stupid ass, I'm gonna try to sit there and jab with him. I'll be believing in my jab that much. That nigga Canelo going, wait, oh shit. You gonna hit me with some fast shit right down the pipe. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, legs gone. Hell no. Not sure if you know, but David Morrell is fighting this week. Who the fuck he? Oh yeah, I did read something about that. Let me see. Let me see who his opponent is. I know he was supposed to fight Callum Smith, but okay, so he fighting Zach Chelly. Who the fuck is this? 6 foot, 28 years old from the UK. Man, look. I ain't gonna judge Bull, right? I ain't gonna judge him because I never seen him fight, but I'm looking at his box rec. Yo, Morel, if you don't step on this nigga, man, if you don't step on this nigga, move your funky ass back down to 168. Because I ain't gonna lie, like Morel ain't really been impressing me at 175. Gave us a hell of a fight with Benavidez. But outside of that, you ain't really been impressing me, brother. 168, you seem to be much more explosive, dynamic. You look more terrorizing at super middleweight than light heavyweight. I don't know what's going on. Um, Dual says, Mark, do you believe that Benavidez dropped Bivol with a jab? I don't really believe anything said about that sparring session, but I want to know your thoughts because I was talking about it with someone. I mean, it's very possible, bro. Like, it could, and we don't know the way in which he got dropped. Bivol may have been off balance and got caught with a clean shot. It could have been maybe Benavidez just caught him with a flush. Maybe Bivol was stepping in and Benavidez timed him with a jab. I don't know. I mean, it could be so many different things, but I don't think it's far fetched for Bivol to get dropped. A lot of these niggas be getting dropped in sparring. Like there ain't many people I don't know that haven't gotten dropped or in sparring or stopped in sparring. Like I'm trying to tell you, like I've seen niggas get knocked out cold in sparring. One shot. See motherfuckers broken eardrums, broken noses, and broken jaws, cuts. I've seen it all, bro. So it's not far fetched. You know, we seen Mike Tyson get dropped in sparring back when he was actually Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that bullshit. So, I mean, if it can happen to high caliber guys, why it can't happen to Bivol? You know what I mean? That's my whole take on it. But you know, motherfuckers do be capping too. They said Jermell got dropped in sparring by Errol Spence. They just confirmed that Jermell was wearing a rib protector against Errol in sparring. You know what I mean? Angelo Leo. Yeah, Angelo Leo gonna be fighting Rais Salim. Rais Salim, he came up in Philly, man. I watched him fight a few times. He a beast, bro. He could fight, so that's gonna be a good rumble. I don't know what he got left, cause I didn't see Rais Salim fight in a long time, but seeing him in Philly, he was sharp as shit. And he was being promoted by Marshall Kaufman at one point in time. I don't know if he still is, but Rais Salim been waiting for this opportunity for a while. I remember he beat the shit out of this nigga in Philly. He looked like the young boy looked just like Lil Boosie. His name was like Marcus Bates or something like that. Man, Marcus Bates was talking crazy to Rais Salim, bro. Now they rematched and Rais ended up stopping him. But the first time they fought, man, Rais whooped this nigga, bro. I think Rais said he looked like he was down bad. I ain't gonna lie. I remember him at the weigh-in. His jeans was all baggy. This nigga's stepping. This nigga looked like he was stepping all in his jeans. Looked like he just got out the pen or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Monroe last opponent called him a coward. You talking about Katiev, the drug cheat? He ain't got no room to be calling anybody a coward. He a fucking drug cheat. Drug cheats are the ultimate cowards. Dwyer said, do you think sparring shows how a real play? I mean, it can. I mean, go watch the Zordo and Benavidez sparring they dropped the week before the fight. It looked damn near identical to the actual fight. You know what I mean? Like in sparring, you can see the stylistic matchups and stuff like that. But, you know, I've also seen, like, I remember Fernando Vargas talking about how Yuri Boy Campos used to whoop him in sparring, and he got his, you know, when they fought in the pros, he whooped on Yuri Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Didn't Chavez drop De La Hoya in sparring, and look what De La Hoya did to him when they ended up fighting in the pros. Like, it's a coin toss, man. Sometimes it could show you what happened in a real fight, but there's so many other different variables that happens in the pros in comparison to sparring that it could be a totally different fight when they fight in the pros. It could be a totally different situation. To be honest, Morrell just moved up to 75 to chase Benavidez. Yeah, he couldn't get no opportunities at 68, just like Benavidez. So they just ended up fighting each other. Damn, y'all chopping it up with me today. I appreciate that. We ain't even get into the fucking pound for pound list. He said, why Philly Sixers get their ass beat like that? Man, I don't know. I don't watch basketball. I don't care about basketball. So don't be coming over here talking shit about the Sixers, man. I really don't. The Sixers do well, good. If they not, so what? Schofield Sr. thinks sparring is everything because they ain't accomplished shit in the pros. That's all they fought. That's all niggas talk about. It's like when motherfuckers ain't accomplished shit in the pros, they want to talk about what they did in the amateurs. And if they not talking about what they did in the amateurs, they talking about who they beat up in sparring. Schofield Sr. is not who he portrays to be. He tries to come across as this confident, secure person and his son. This motherfucker a businessman just like anybody else. That motherfucker do not want to fight anybody that he feels like is a threat to his son. And we've seen what happens when, you know, they've been lined up with some big fights. They pulled out of fights with JoJo Diaz with a little ass bruise on his fucking fist. This boy pulled out of Lucas Body fights and you know, the day of or the day before the Shakur fight, they pulling out talking about they had some type of food poisoning. No, this is what happened, right? Y'all motherfuckers got a certain weight. I'm gonna keep it real. Niggas don't even know this. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, right? Because I was peeping the whole situation. You know, the WBC does check-in weigh-ins. Whenever you fight for the WBC title, They do like check-ins like a month before the fight, 2 weeks before the fight, week before the fight, the week of the fight. You have to be at a certain weight so they can make sure that you're not cutting weight in a dangerous manner. That's just something that they do, right? And Schofield Sr. was expressing his frustrations in those, weigh-in Johns because it pretty much didn't align with how the way they cut weight. So I think because they cut weight, because Schofield really don't belong at 35. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Schofield getting through that, don't weight cuts because of his youth. But for real, Schofield don't belong at 35. Right? And when he gets spanked, they're going to be like, oh, we stood at 35 too long. Trust and believe this is what's going to happen. So what happened was they had to hold that weight down because of those WBC check-in weigh-ins. Because he had to hold that weight down for a while, Schofield ended up getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Because if you hold your body down to a certain weight where, you're losing nutrients and, minerals, vitamins, the shit that your body needs, your immune system goes down the drain. You know what I mean? Your immune system goes down the drain. You know what I mean? And the littlest things can make you sick. So I feel like the Schofields, you know what I mean? Oh, we got poison and all that. No, y'all was dehydrated. That's what happened. You know what I mean? And he told him, but we got proof. We got paperwork. We never see your exit paper, sir. And obviously the doctors can't show it because that'll go against, they codes and shit. They get fired for that. But if y'all was really poisoned, show us. Oh, we got proof. I'm not the type nigga that'd be like, yo, I got proof and then I don't show you. We got the toxology report. Let's see the toxology report. Yeah, it's a HIPAA violation. Yeah. Can't disclose confidential information. That goes for a lot of different businesses and shit like that. Show us a toxology report. You could publicly display it. Do it. He won't. You know why? Because ain't no fucking toxology report. Them niggas ain't want to look like no hoes after all that shit they talked. So they fell back on this claim that there was poison and all that. That's why Turkey and them don't even fuck with them no more. Now they try and get back on the Turkey bandwagon and all that. Oh, it's business. No, you was fucking up the business. And then Shakur had to go beat up on fucking Josh Padley. Shout out to Josh Padley. Had to go beat up on Josh Padley because your whole ass wasn't available. See, they get cold feet whenever they talk this big shit, but they don't really want to do no big shit. I think young boy really like that. I'm going to keep it real. I think Schofield, the young boy, I think he really like that. His dad, Turkey, though. His dad, pussy. He don't want to take no unnecessary risk. Anything that he perceives to be a risk, he don't want to take it. He want to be in the safest position possible. That's why he with Golden Boy. Golden Boy got one of the most extensive protection programs in the sport of boxing. They'll keep you undefeated forever and then cash you out with that one fight. And while you're in the hospital treating your wounds, this nigga Oscar De La Hoya getting a bottle stuck up his ass and snorting coke and partying and all that shit that he publicly admitted that he does. That's the type shit that they be on. And Kid Austin, he's a fucking kid. So what he gonna do? Follow whatever his dad telling him to do? Just like any other kid would. The nigga ain't have his mom. All he had was his father, so he gonna listen to his father. You said poor Zurdo, man. Oscar got lit. This nigga bust through the door with his ugly ass girl. No, we're gonna get fucked up. Fuck. Zurdo got his ass whooped. Yeah. David really fucked him up. But Zurdo's okay. So we're going to fucking party. That's all Oscar going to do. He don't give a fuck. Oscar can't sue me. That nigga already done told y'all about the heinous shit he be doing behind closed doors and the recreational drugs he takes and all that. Shawty can't even move her motherfucking face. Shawty can't even move her fucking face. Bitch face stuck like this. Sitting ringside with Oscar, bitch face stuck like this. Oscar, swear he got a dime too. Bet you she don't look shit like how she looked when she was born. This nigga said I sound just like him. I'm the golden boy. Yeah, he be talking. And David doesn't have a chin. Nigga, I guess Zordo don't neither. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? Look stupid as hell. That was kissing David ass after the fight. You look sensational. You kind of look like the golden boy. Yeah. Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Zordo don't got an eye. Well, I hope he do. I hope that's not true. Them orbital bones, man. Yeah, man. And Zordo was already thinking about retirement. So that's definitely not that's definitely your sign to retire. Let's see. But nah, y'all. What y'all think about that new pound for pound list, man? Did y'all see it? Did y'all see this new pound for pound list? Let me show y'all if y'all ain't see it. We're gonna touch on this before we get up out of here. Pause. Pound for pound rankings. NUA is the new pound for pound king, according to the Ring magazine. Naoya Inoue claims the number one spot after his win over Junto Nakatani last Saturday. Now, that doesn't come as a surprise to us because after he defeated Junto Nakatani, I've made it clear on the channel multiple times already that Naoya Inoue just punched his ticket in for being pound for pound number one. Not to discredit anything that Alexander Usyk has done, but respectfully, he's about to fight a kickboxer in his next fight. You know what I'm saying? And boxing is constantly showing and proving that you are the best in the world. And Usyk has done it plenty of times, dethroning giants like Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury, each 2 times. You know what I mean? Becoming undisputed. I think 2 times at heavyweight alone, becoming undisputed at cruiserweight. He's done some phenomenal things. I remember when Usyk was being heavily doubted at heavyweight prior to winning the world title. And, he proved everybody wrong. Always found a way to win. So Usyk is definitely a top 2 pound for pound fighter. If he's not number one, he's definitely number 2. I don't think you could put him any lower than that. You feel what I'm saying? But now anyway, man, we got to take into consideration this man, 4 division world champion, undisputed twice. I would like to say. I think he became undisputed twice. And dethroned another top pound for pound fighter on the list. Like Junto's still on the list. He's number 7 on this list. You feel what I'm saying? So, and this is somebody that a lot of people thought was going to lose to Junto Nakatani. There was a lot of people who picked Junto because of how skilled and dangerous of a fighter that he was. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, at this point in time, man, this dude has went through multiple weight classes, shown to be the best fighter in each weight class that he's been in, or at least attempted to. Has yet to be defeated in his professional career. Shown that regardless of what style that you put in front of him, he's gonna find a way to win. He's been in there with the good boxers like Stephen Fulton. He's been in there with the heavy punchers like Nonito Donaire. The heavy boxer punchers. The explosive guys, Nonito Donaire, and then you in there with a power punching counter puncher, a counter puncher with some pop, and Junto Nakatani, a long rangy guy, and he finds a way to beat him as well. So Naoya Inoue just has the keys when it comes to these smaller weight classes. Yeah, I mean, he's capable of adjusting, and it don't take him, 2 fights to figure somebody out. He figures it out right then and there, and he does what he needs to do. He fights. He becomes who he needs to be in order to come out with the victory. So now Inoue being pound for pound number 1, he has a strong case for it, man. I mean, you got to give him his credit. Now, we looking down the list right now, number 2, Alexander Usyk. Well-deserved. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, number 3. I think when Shakur Stevenson was out here pushing his narrative, if I beat Teofimo Lopez, y'all need to put me in the top 3 pound for pound. And I was just like, man, I don't really see that. You feel what I'm saying? But, I guess they followed through and actually gave him what he was looking for. I think he was even saying that he should be above Naua anyway, which is ridiculous in my opinion, but it is what it is. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, number 4. David Benavidez creeps into number 5. Number 6, Dimitri Bivol. Junto Nakatani, number 7. Devin Haney, number 8. Oscar Collazo, number 9. And Emmanuel Navarrete at number 10. Now, I already see there's some people in the comments already saying Junto over Haney is disrespectful. I am inclined to agree with you, brother. I do think that at this current point in time, he should not be above Devin Haney whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I still like. I think they're a little disrespectful with Dimitri Bivol too. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like Dimitri Bivol literally has a hell of a resume, bro. Like people be sleeping on his accolades. They be sleeping on his resume. Like, bro, you literally got a prime Canelo on your resume, bro. Prime Canelo on your resume. We can't say, oh, Canelo was too small. Motherfucker was a world champion at 175 when he put Sergey Kovalev to sleep. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. When he was beating up on Sergey Kovalev and became a 4-division champion, everybody was praising him. He get beat up by Bivol. Oh, he was too small. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. He got Gilberto Ramirez, undefeated Gilberto Ramirez at that. And then he went ahead and he beat Artur Beterbiev, and I thought he beat him both times. Then on top of that, you've reached undisputed status. I don't understand, bro. Like it's like, and plus, it ain't like Bivol like this fucking bum neither. He's one of the most skilled fighters in the sport of boxing. Like to be real, like I wouldn't put Benavidez over Bivol. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know if I would put Shakur over Bivol right now. Shakur don't got a Bivol resume. He got skills, yeah. He got 4 divisions, yeah. He got more weight classes than Bivol. Bivol's already a big guy. You know what I mean? There's such a weight gap between fucking light heavyweight and cruiserweight that, you know what I mean? If you ain't big enough, Bivol done talked about going down to 68 to fight Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So that just lets you know that he more on the smaller side. So he most likely won't even go up to cruiserweight. So, anyways, man, I think they real disrespectful with Dimitri Bivol on this pound for pound list, to be honest with you. They being disrespectful with Devin Haney as well. Putting Devin Haney right above Oscar Collazo is disrespectful as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. Bam, he's at an okay spot. I would drop Shakur Stevenson, probably just because Bivol's inactive or whatever. Nah, not even that. I'll probably put Shakur number 6. I ain't gonna lie. As a matter of fact, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fucking have it. Shit. Let me log into my motherfucking Gmail because they playing with me, bro. Let me see where my Google Docs is at. Let's update this pound for pound list, y'all, shall we? So we got to do some things. We have to do some things. So we got to remove some guys off of this list because at this point in time, Terrence Crawford is no longer active in the sport of boxing. So we're going to go ahead and remove we're going to add a fighter. We're going to get to that. But we got Usyk anyway, so we're going to rearrange these two because I do think it is pretty much unanimous. Now you are anyways pound for pound number 1. I wouldn't dispute that at all. Hold on, yeah. Dimitri Bivol number 3. Artur Beterbiev. I think Artur Beterbiev just coming off of a loss of inactivity. I do think he needs to get off of the list as well until he proves himself. That's just me. You know what I mean? So Bam can move up to number 4. Who's the number 10 guy we gonna add? Are we gonna put Manuel Navarrete? Bro, we cooking up. So let's put Emmanuel Navarrete at number 7, and then we'll do some rearranging. All right. Just this ain't a finished product yet. Relax, cool off me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I probably spelled Navarrete last name wrong, but it is what it is. All right. Let's do it. Damn, who's supposed to be here? Oh yeah, I remove. I guess we could put Oscar Collazo. I guess we could put Oscar Collazo because he unified. He doing this thing in them smaller weight classes. You know what I mean? But all right. Let me see what my charge is. We on 10%. Cool. All right, so now you will NUA number 1. That's cool. Now you will NUA. He's cool at number 1, right, y'all? Yo, Lorenzo, what up, brother? Pretty sure I spelled. All right, NUA cool at number 1. Yeah. Everybody saying that? All right, cool. Let me relocate over here so I could charge my laptop. All right, seems like it's unanimous. Gotta give him credit for being Junto, right? Cool. Usyk number 2. I don't think there's much of an issue with that neither. All right. All right, so the top 2 is secure. All right, this is where we start rearranging shit, right? At one point in time, we had Dimitri Bivol number 3. Dimitri Bivol's been a little inactive, but he is coming off of the biggest win in his career. You know what I mean? So what we doing with this number 3 spot, y'all? Who y'all think deserve to be here? Should Bam be number 3? Should Bivol stay there? What are we doing? What y'all feeling, chat? Let me know what it is. 3 is Bam. Bam is top 3. Bam should take the spot for now. Okay. Bivol, better body of work. Okay, so they saying, but just to be clear, Bam Rodriguez got a nice little resume too. You know what I mean? He may not have he may not have a Canelo on his resume. He may not have a superstar on his list like that, but when we talking about Bam, he got legit, guys on his resume, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I seen Shakur trying to downplay Gallo Estrada as if he was a nobody. I thought that was disgusting, to be honest with you. But we even talking about undefeated Sonny Edwards. We talking about Sor Rungvisai. You know what I mean? We talking about Carlos Quadras. Like, those aren't, if you came up during the HBO era, you know who those guys are. I mean, especially when Roman Gonzalez was running around here doing his thing and was considered pound for pound number 1 after Floyd Mayweather retired. I mean, you would know that these guys ain't just nobodies. You feel what I'm saying? So there's that. And Bam beating 2 undefeated guys in a row and taking titles and all types of shit. Plus, Bam about to be number 3. Bam about to be number 3 anyways if he beats Vargas. I'm gonna keep Bivol there. I'm gonna keep it real. If Bam go ahead and he smoke if he go ahead and he spark Antonio Vargas, yeah, I mean we could revisit that. But I'm gonna keep Bivol number 3. I think they're a little bit disrespectful on Bivol's name. I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah, I mean, I know motherfuckers, recency bias is a motherfucker, and they just I can't do it, bro. Resumes is a real big part of I think resumes are the most important thing to have when discussing, pound for pound level fighter. Skills definitely plays a part. Winning titles in multiple weight classes plays a part. But I mean, all you can have all the skill in the world, but how do we know you truly skilled if you haven't beat anybody credible? Accolades may be cool, winning multiple world titles and multiple divisions, that's cool, but who did you beat in order to get those titles? Dua says, Mark, you think we getting that trilogy from Bivol and Beterbiev, or do you think they gave up on that? I think Benavidez is going to get in the way of that. I ain't going to lie. I think that after, Bivol beats Michael Eifert, I think that's his first name. My apologies if it ain't. But if he beats Eifert, let me check to see if that's his name. Let me not be disrespectful. I don't like when people say my name wrong and shit, so. Yeah, Michael Eifert. So if he, after the Michael Eifert thing, I think there's going to be a lot of demand for Bam to fight Bivol. Unless Turki Alalshikh gets in the way again. Yeah, it's like nobody wants to see the trilogy. We already thought Bivol won both times for the most part. You know what I mean? So what we thinking about number 4 with Bam? I mean, y'all wanted him to be number 3, so I don't think y'all would have a problem with him being number 4. I don't think we would have a problem with that. See what y'all talking about. T said, you got to understand, Turkey wasn't part of the trilogy. Bivol and Beterbiev was trying to make the fights themselves in Russia. That was after the fact, though, so you're missing a little point there, brother. So Turki Alalshikh was involved in the trilogy. That's why Turki Alalshikh came on the internet and pretty much gave Bivol the ultimatum, like, yo, you can either, do your WBC mandatory and fuck up what we got going on business-wise, or I mean, we could do this trilogy and stay in business together. Bivol ultimately decided to continue working with Turki Alalshikh. He gave up that WBC title. Now, they were in the process of making that trilogy. Turki said that, Bivol and Beterbiev came up to him and was like, yo, we actually want to do this fight in Russia, blah, blah, blah. He gave them their blessings and let them go on their way because, after all, he didn't really want to do the trilogy. Whatever. So they took they was gonna make the fight happen in Russia after Turki Alalshikh, inserted himself in that whole situation. So Turki was gonna make the fight because he said that he was keeping a promise. But when Bivol and Beterbiev, came to him and was like, yo, we actually want to do this over here, Turki was like, all right, cool, go ahead. Take care of that. So yeah, there's that. So you said 3 and 4 is interchangeable. Okay, cool. You said 4 and 5 is interchangeable. Like Shakur, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. Shakur, you got like William Cepeda, and you got Oscar Valdez. Like he got some names, but if we talking about, and you got Teofimo Lopez now, all right, cool, bro. Like you got Teofimo Lopez, but Bam got, and the guys that's in his divisions, he has more quality names overall. No, it's definitely the fashion in which they get the wins as well. I mean, like Ben Rodriguez, he dominated Carlos Quadras. You know what I mean? And he fought him on last minute notice to get that fight. You know, he dominated Gallo Estrada, beat him in phenomenal fashion. Sonny Edwards was a world champion at the time, undefeated in his own right. Basically retired the nigga. Let's keep it real. Took all the fighting spirit away from him. Stopped him. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking about fashion, like in the way in which, you know what I mean? Ben really putting belt and ass down there. Did you see what he did to Kafu? Then he stopped Kafu in Philly. Was that? I think that was in Philly. I watched that shit, man. He embarrassed the shit up. No. I'm sorry. He beat Guevara. He beat Guevara in Philly. But he did Kafu so fucking dirty, bro. Beat the shit out of that cocky ass bull Fernando Martinez, the bull they call him Puma. Beat the shit out of Puma. Made him look super easy. You feel what I'm saying? Dominated Sor Rungvisai. Yeah, he stopped him. He stopped him. So that's just me. So I'm keeping Bam at number 4. I'm sorry. Shakur, number 5. What y'all think about Shakur being at number 5? Is he over Devin Haney? Is that Teofimo Lopez win going to put him above Devin Haney? I mean, he got more weight classes than Devin Haney in terms of, you know, titles in multiple divisions. You know what I mean? He got a Teofimo Lopez win under his resume. That's a signature one. Saying David, number 5. Went undisputed at 135. He definitely did. I think the reason why, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, the reason why these motherfuckers downplaying Dev is because they still hung up on that Ryan Garcia shit, bro. I'm telling you. They still stuck on that Ryan Garcia shit, knowing he got cheated. David, number 5. Niggas want David, number 5, huh? We putting David Benavidez, number 5. Ooh-wee. Let me know, Chad. We putting David number 5. I'll change that shit right now. I get it. David been on a rampage. I get it. Yeah, bro. People be hating black fighters that much that they willing to give a drug cheat a way out. Just so they could say Devin lost or had a vulnerable moment. It's crazy. David number 5. What y'all think, Chad? Tricks calling for it. Agent 86 calling for it. What we thinking? Dua says Dev at 5. Man, but fucking David got he building a nice little resume, cuz you talking about Caleb Plant, you talking about Demetrius Andre, you talking about David Morrell, you talking about motherfucking I give Volzig only lost once when he fought him. That was a former world champion right there. Beat him. Fucking come on, man. Anthony Yard wasn't no champion, but you know, contender. That he just went up and beat a unified cruiserweight champion. Norman Jr. was a pretty good win. It was a good win, but you know, Brian Norman ain't beat nobody, bro. You say you be forgetting David fought Andre. Yeah, Demetrius Andre, two-weight world champion, undefeated. Definitely was too small for David, but man, Andre was heavily avoided, man. Damn, we stuck between Dev and David right now, man. Y'all want Devin Haney at 5. Y'all want David at 5. We can only have one. Trick said, no, David 5. I was trying to give more people time to, All right. So David Benavidez, number 5. The fuck? Get him up out of here. All right. So we doing some shape shifting. We doing some shit around this motherfucker. So number 6, Devin Haney. Do we keep Devin Haney there? Number 6, do we keep Devin Haney there? I ain't gonna lie, that's not a bad spot for Dev. I ain't gonna lie. Shakur number 6, so he over Agent 86 want Shakur over Dev. Dev got a unifier, get that ring. Bro, but we got to take, Dev tried to fight Broly. They wasn't trying to give you no guarantees. Motherfucking Lewis Crocker, Eddie Hearn blocked that fight. He don't want to make that fight. Ryan Garcia, this motherfucker acting like he don't want to do no 365 testing. He act like he don't want to do no drug testing. I think I'm going to keep Dev at number 6, man. Skill set wise, maybe Shakur better than him, but pound for pound wise and who they beat and accolades and shit like that, nah. T.O. beat Loma before Dev. Okay. And Dev beat the nigga who beat T.O. for undisputed. You ever thought about that, Agent? So yeah, T.O. beat Loma before Dev, but Dev beat Loma, and then Dev before that beat the nigga who smoked T.O. and became undisputed. Oh man, and T.O. never got that get back. Oh man. Devin Haney got a better resume. Look, I'm with it. I got Devin Haney number 6, bro. After T.O. beat Loma, he hasn't been the same. Shakur put belt to ass. Wait, what? Yeah, I agree. But T.O. still moved up and became lineal champion in the following division. Got that WBO title. So he did something. He still had something left if he beat Josh Taylor. Granted, Josh Taylor hasn't been the same, I feel like, since that first Jack Catterall fight, but it is what it is. He still was a world champion. All right, so we're gonna keep Devin number 6. So as we're gonna move Junto down this list for sure. I'm assuming Shakur is gonna be at number 7. What y'all thinking, y'all? What we thinking? We putting Shakur number 7? Dwyer says Haney genuinely got one of the best, if not the best, resumes in boxing today. I don't know why people go to so much lengths to take credit away from Dev. I mean, he's black. He has a dad that loves him and has his best interests, and a lot of these fatherless coons don't like it. Core not higher than Junto? Nah, we can't do that. I'm not putting Shakur over no Bivol. I'm sorry, Teach. I can't do it. This nigga put Sebastian Fundora on the pound for pound list. Boots? Gervonta Davis? God bless you, Teach. God bless you. God bless you. You talking about the nigga who all he did was duck top competition? We talking about the motherfucker who vacated a belt not to fight Xander Zayas and put a rehydration clause on him? That's what we talking about. We talking about the nigga who just beat a old ass Keith Thurman who's a blown up welterweight. You gotta be trolling with that list, bro. He's 6'7" and he uses his range and he fights at 154. Come on, man. Stop it. Talking about one of the scariest niggas in boxing, Gervonta Davis. Nigga ain't fight since he picked up a draw. Nigga ain't fight since he picked up a draw against Lamont. Don't even want to get a nigga a rematch. I'll give you an opportunity and now I'm going to take it because I'm scared of you. I'm going to fight Jake Paul. Fuck everybody. And Jake Paul was like, nah, we ain't selling no tickets. And you like to beat on bitches. I'm cool. Now you trying to come back to boxing and rematch Isak Cruz at 140? I thought you was too small for 140 when Dev was there. Ooh wee. This shit hilarious. Anyways. This nigga said Junto, Oscar, and Navarrete are not my cup of tea. There's a grown ass man saying that shit. This nigga Teach tripping. He's not my cup of tea. The fuck, nigga? Get this nigga a testosterone shot. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put Shakur Stevenson number 7 on this list. I don't think that's a bad joint at all. So who's number 8, y'all? Because I don't really think 9 and 10 are moving. Are we putting Junto here? I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like that name, Junto. That shit, I think that shit kind of fire. So we putting Junto Nakatani at number 8. So what, this motherfucker only went down like 1 slot since he lost? That motherfucker, Devin Haney he got cheated and got erased off the pound for pound list. Y'all remember that shit? He got cheated. They reversed the fight to a no contest. Still had this nigga off the pound for pound list. He had to come back and beat Jose Ramirez to get back.
What?
Yeah, Junto only moved out 1 spot. You got Navarrete over Junto. Junto will move up this list if he fought a black fighter. Like if he fought like Oshaki. If he was to go ahead and beat Oshaki. Genuine question, who is Oscar Collazo? He's in the smaller weight classes, brother. He a Puerto Rican fighter, unified champion, I believe, at 105 pounds. So he been getting knockouts. He been dominating. He been doing his thing. So, yeah. He got a lot of momentum right now. He been fighting a lot on them Golden Boy cards. smoking shit. He just beat the shit out of somebody the other day. That Ramirez fight was ass. What we talking about? Talking about Devin Haney? I mean, that was to me, that was, Dev could have obviously done more. But that's Jose Ramirez's fault. Motherfucker can't cut off a ring. He couldn't make the adjustments to make Devin Haney fight him. Feet was too slow. So I guess we're going to put Junto here. Okay, I figured I'll spell his name wrong. It's Navarrete. Yeah, there you go. Is this pound for pound list done, y'all? Is that it? Is this list complete? Is there somebody that we need to move around? Dwight said, what do you think about Foster versus Ford fight and who you got? I think it's a real 50-50, but I'm leaning slightly towards Foster. I'm with you, brother. I think we see eye to eye on this topic overall. I think it is a 50-50 type of fight, but I am leaning towards Foster. I think Oshaki's Foster. I think he had, Raymond Ford, he could box. I mean, he got fast hands. He got good offense. He's shitty sharp. Ain't no doubt about it. But I do think Oshaki Foster is a bit more of a I think he's a better boxer. You know what I mean? I think he has better range control than, Raymond Ford. I think that's definitely going to play the part, though. I think Raymond Ford going to have a tough time figuring out the range with Oshaki. I think Oshaki's going to outbox him. I don't know if Raymond Ford has ever fought anybody with that type of, with those type of abilities and stuff like that. I can't even recall Raymond Ford fighting a black boxer, to be honest with you. I got to go back and look, like Abraham Nova and, shit like that. But every time I've ever seen Raymond Ford in the ring, it was usually with like Hispanic men or, that Asian bull that he won that world title against. What was that, Odebek? Yeah, I mean, so this is gonna be different. But I've seen Richardson Hitchens sparring Raymond Ford. That's phenomenal work for Raymond Ford. To be honest with you, they definitely got a little dream team over there, making sure that he's in the best position possible to beat Oshaki. But the problem is, I mean, you can get all the sparring in the world that you want. Ain't none of them guys Oshaki, respectfully. You know what I mean? So, I think he'll be well prepared. But I think Oshaki's gonna pull it off. I'm gonna give you guys more of it, and I'm gonna give you guys a more detailed breakdown as the fight gets closer. But as of right now, I am leaning more towards Oshaki. But one thing that Oshaki and Raymond Ford got in common, they do be like inconsistent type of fighters where like, they look phenomenal one fight, then another fight they don't look too good. You know what I mean? Like one day they looking shitty sharp, they doing their motherfucking thing, and then another fight where, fight could have went either way. You know what I mean? You could probably say that motherfucker lost the fight. Like I remember Raymond Ford early in his career, you know what I mean, having fights that, he didn't look too impressive in, people saying that they thought he lost the fight. And you know what I'm saying? Then, he fight older, he come and he win that world title at 126. Then he fight Nick Ball, and then he looked like shit. Then he go up to 130, he looked phenomenal. Then he fight Abraham Nova, and then he looked like, I mean, he beat him, but he didn't look impressive. So you gotta, they up and down. And then Oshaki, I thought he smoked the shit out of Conceição the first fight. I mean, they robbed the shit out of him. Then he come back and he fight Conceição, and then he didn't look impressive at all in the rematch with Conceição, and then they gave him the win. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like if you would have thought Oshaki lost any fight against Conceição, it was the rematch, not the first fight. But it was like, I guess they felt like they owed him one or something, so they gave him his win back. Like, I don't know, bro. But they both be ups and down. I don't know if it's that they fight to the level of their opposition. They be feeling unmotivated. They be having bad training camps or weight cuts. I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Like they both be up and down type fighters, but I'm assuming they both gonna be on point because they both don't like each other. You know what I mean? This shit low key getting some, personal. Raymond Ford don't like him. Oshaki don't like him. So I think we're gonna be in for a hell of a fight, man. I'm really looking forward to that, but I am leaning towards Oshaki to win. And if Oshaki wins, it's gonna be some pressure on Shakur, y'all. Trick said, "Yo, did you see that live stream when Keyshawn asked Zab about his fight with Floyd and his relationship with Floyd?" Yeah, I did see that. Well, I didn't see the part where Keyshawn had asked Zab about it. Now, if he went out of his way to ask Zab that means that the possibility of fighting Shakur is on Keyshawn's mind, and he's like weighing his options. That's what it sounded like to me. But if Zab was just talking about it and Keyshawn was listening, then that's different. But if Keyshawn went out of his way to ask Zab that question, that's because the possibility of fighting Shakur is on Keyshawn's mind, whether he wants to admit it or not. And I think he even asked Zab, he was like, "Yo, was it weird like with the families and shit like that?" He was like, but Zab was like, "Yeah, but like, who gives a fuck? Like, we made our choices, we fought. It is what it is." And Zab was like, "Yo, like, even though I lost, like, I definitely won in certain aspects as well." You know what I mean? He said, every time people come up to me, they talk to me about the fight, and we be just chopping it up about it. Like, and that Zab fight with Floyd, that's a classic. Controversy, you know what I mean? Floyd adjustment, Zab having a fast start, you know what I mean? Giving Floyd a knockdown, in my opinion. Like, it was a great back and forth fight. Even though like Zab lost, like, we don't shit on Zab for that loss. You know what I'm saying? So Zab might have planted a seed in Keyshawn's head. I think that's very difficult to do because I don't think Keyshawn really got too much up there, especially from like a logical standpoint. He seems to be very emotional, very crash outish. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think it'll take a lot for something to click in Keyshawn's head. But hey man, maybe when he's thinking about fighting Shakur, he'll think about the Zab conversation and be like, you know what, let me fight this nigga. We be cool after the fight. I mean, but I'm telling you, man, Shakur is using that brother angle because he wants to keep Keyshawn close to him. He understands that if he keeps Keyshawn close to him, he'll be able to benefit off him, and that'll give him an advantage going into these fights with these other guys. I'm telling you. He played the brother role with Keyshawn because he benefits off of Keyshawn. Keyshawn's a championship level fighter. He's a championship level fighter. You have another championship level fighter in your camp that keeps you sharp. You're gonna have more of an advantage going into fights in comparison to other guys who don't have those type of caliber guys and they stable. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur probably also looking at it like, bro, why would I fight this nigga when we have millions of rounds together? He understands my style more than anybody else, and he may have the remedy, or at least the recipe, to beat me when I could keep this nigga close, keep sharpening my tools with him, making him feel like he my motherfucking brother, and I could fight everybody else that I done sparred before and get off on them. Like, I don't know, man. Like Shakur be popping all this, I'm the best shit. It can't nobody fuck with me. And all that shit sound good, man. But I don't give a fuck when nobody say that little brother angle they got going on. That's scary shit to me. And motherfuckers don't want to say it, especially like these guys that, that's cool with Shakur, like Ward and Crawford and all them. But they know that's some scary shit. You want to know how I know? Because ain't none of them niggas ever carry it like that. I ain't never hear Andre Ward say, "Oh, I ain't gonna fight Chad Dawson. That's my brother." I ain't never hear Bud say, "Yo, I ain't gonna fight Sean Porter because that's my brother." Now I did hear Bud say that. I was calling out everybody except Sean Porter because me and him had a friendship. But once Sean Porter was like, "Yo, I'm number one in the WBO. Let's fight." Bud was like, "Bet." He ain't had to sit down and rationalize with Sean and be like, "Yo, bro, we friends, man. Let's not fight, man. We brothers." Bud was like, "Oh, all right, it's up." That's all he had to say. And to be fair, Sean wasn't a champion while Bud was there anyway. That shit was triggering Ray Ford when O'Shaquie was saying that little bro stuff. Yeah, because there's some truth to it. Listen, Ray Ford could be like, oh, I'm my own nigga. I ain't nobody little bro and shit like that. Bro, you are the little bro. You are. You want to know how I know? Because first of all, this nigga Shakur done convinced you to train with him out in Houston. Nigga, you from Camden. You was training in Camden. You was with Coach Reg and all that shit right down here. As soon as you start fucking with Shakur and them, Shakur, I don't know, this nigga brought you over for a camp or what. This nigga persuaded you to move over to Houston. Now you training with them niggas. Now you under his wing. You literally, one of your trainers is his cousin. Like, nigga, you pretty much got adopted into their little boxing family or whatever. But y'all know Shakur the big dog over there. Ain't none of y'all niggas go over there until Shakur went over there. Y'all following his moves. Y'all niggas under his wing. Y'all niggas all his little bro. Keyshawn his little bro. Raymond Ford his little bro. And he know that's how it looked, but he got too much pride to admit that shit, so he be getting upset whenever niggas say that. If it's not true, why you getting emotional? If you understand that you ain't nobody little bro, why you getting upset when niggas bring up Shakur? Bringing up Shakur name, like nigga, you associate yourself with Shakur. O'Shaquie want to fight Shakur. He pretty much young boys you like, oh man, you not, man, we ain't rumbling, bro. You can fight Ray. Like throwing your little brother out there on the line for you to rumble. That's the equivalent of you knocking on somebody's crib and like, yo, pussy, come outside and fight. Let's say you're gonna fight a nigga named Robert. Oh, Rob, come outside, I'm gonna fuck you up. Nigga, you talking all that big shit. Nah, nigga, like, nigga, you ain't do enough to fight a nigga like me, man. Fight my nigga Charles and fight my little bro Charlie instead. Fight Charlie instead, and if you beat Charlie, then I'll fight you. It's like, nigga, what? You treating Charlie like the crash out dummy, like the little nigga. That's what big bros do to little niggas. Send them out on a mission while they ain't receiving any damage. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, Zordo and David were friends. David was saying it in the lead up to the fight, but you know why he ain't give a fuck? Because he knew that is boxing, and this boxing shit come before that friendship. You in my way, you got something I got. I'm coming to get it. He said that he hated the fact that he did that to him, but he said that's just what it is. It's boxing. His mentality different. And what's crazy is these niggas so scary. They be trying to make you feel crazy for having these niggas wanting to fight each other. That's my brother, man. I'll never fight my brother, man. Y'all just need to stop asking that shit. Nigga, fuck out of here. We gonna keep asking for it because y'all niggas is around the same fucking weight class. You know what I mean? Y'all both champions and y'all keep talking about how nobody can fuck with y'all. If that's the case, why don't y'all fight each other? Because obviously y'all disagree with each other. If Keyshawn running around talking about he the best and Shakur running around talking about how he the best and they both saying that can't nobody fuck with them and they in the same weight class, wouldn't that mean that they feel like they're better than each other? Logically speaking. All right, so fight each other then. Fight each other then. And let's see who really can't be fucked with. Oh, man, I'm the best, man. Can't nobody fuck with me, bro. I'll whoop all these niggas' ass except Keyshawn because that's my brother. That's whole shit. That's whole shit. Man, ain't nobody fucking with me, man. I whoop A, B, and C, and D. Fuck all these niggas, man. Man, can't nobody fuck with me. I'm the best in boxing. I'm the best in boxing. I'll fight any of these niggas except Shakur because that's my brother. What? You would have thought these niggas came out the same pussy. It was like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Y'all niggas met each other when y'all was grown. Fuck you talking about y'all brothers. Oh, we got the same, man. We be around each other's family. So what, nigga? So what, nigga? Fuck is you talking about? Shakur literally was staying in Devin Haney crib. He was calling him out to rumble him and shit like that. That nigga was staying in the same crib as Devin family, traveling all over the place with each other and all types of shit. Shakur want to fight him, bro. That shit don't even make sense. Based off of that, then why you try to call out Dev? You been around his family. You spent time with him. You sparred him. Y'all was brothers, right? Y'all was friends. What the fuck make Keyshawn so much different from Dev? Y'all share similar experiences. You was talking about you'll fuck Richardson Hitchens up. Y'all niggas was sleeping in the same hotel rooms together. That's what he said. Y'all was sleeping by each other's feet and all types of shit. Like y'all niggas came up poor together and y'all done put each other. Hitchens talk about Shakur put him on to certain shit, put him on the money and all that. But here's Shakur talking about how he'll fight Hitchens and he'll fuck Hitchens up. What make Hitchens so different from Keyshawn? Y'all niggas had similar experiences. See, it's something weird with that. It's a weird little dynamic between Shakur and Keyshawn. And I think what it is that these niggas, they figured each other out. It's either Keyshawn got Shakur figured out or Shakur got Keyshawn figured out. Or they both got a good understanding of each other. They understand that they may possibly beat each other. So based off of that, they'd rather not fight each other. You know what I mean? They both got each other's cars, so they'd rather not fight each other. They'd rather fight everybody else. That's bitch shit. Keyshawn, Dev didn't want to be my friend. Yeah, I remember that. Dev always act weird with me, man. Like he act like he ain't fuck with me when I used to be around him. What's up with y'all niggas wanting to be friends so bad? I don't understand. Like y'all niggas acting like y'all getting paid to hold each other dick or something. Y'all niggas weird. But we got any last questions before we get up out of here, yo? Edgar Berlanga is really the big bro. Man, I remember that nigga Berlanga cursed Shakur out on social media talking about, nigga, you don't never come to New York, blah, blah. He's talking crazy to Shakur. Shakur ain't even respond to this nigga. Now they cool behind the scenes. Who I got? Fabio Wardley or Daniel Dubois? I'm gonna go with Fabio Wardley, man. He's a fresher fighter. He's durable. He punches hard. He got great conditioning, especially in them later rounds. Got a lot of heart, but Dubois can't hurt him. And if Dubois hurts him, how is Fabio gonna respond? Because Fabio been taking these punches lately and been pretty good, but I don't think any of them have punched to Daniel Dubois' level. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's really a 50-50 to be honest with you, but I think Fabio, being a fresher fighter, been a less wars, less wear and tear, more momentum, more confidence, because Dubois coming off of a knockout loss. That's another thing. But Dubois has been known after losing, doing 180s and making crazy comebacks. Can he do it again? That'll remain to be seen. But I think Fabio's chin, his grittiness, his determination, his punching power, his pressure, his conditioning, I think he could beat Daniel Dubois. But Daniel can hurt him, and he can knock Fabio out. He really can. He really beat Usyk the first time. All right, good night, brother. Good night, brother. Sleep good, brother. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,500 mark, looking to crack that 3,600 mark in due time. Shout out to the Nation and the Mind for making this possible. I'll be back at y'all with another live, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, man. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.